What's going on, everyone? It's your girl Nicole here. This is day, oh gosh, I'm not sure what day this is on my challenge. I'm gonna guess it's day 5 or day 6. I'll have to double check. I notice I put in the description, but I don't think I changed the date. But yes, another day. We are here, 366 challenge, 366 days, coming on here live to share the message, offer frequency, transmission, and activation, daily activation. And today is sparked by a question. Hello to Zaya. Hello. It was sparked by a question. I had a fabulous interview this morning by Kate Bello, and I'm excited for you all to see it. And the online event is called Embody Prosperity. And next week I will be joined on a panel with an online event called Regal Roar next week, which is going to be so exciting. If you follow me, I posted this morning a little bit of information and how you can get the details and register and be a part of this beautiful live experience. So there's a lot of things cooking, you know, and sharing the message and having these deep conversations. And what came up this morning was the question of why, right? The question of what birthed the Goddess Moves? What birthed this passion, this platform that I have created? What birthed this interest in this womb awareness, the womb liberation, and why it's a sacred revolution that I'm here to activate and create change. Thank you so much. And the why, I'm very clear on my sacred why. The why is creating space and providing resources. I'm here to provide a space that supports the disruption of systems that have been built to support the most intimate parts of our bodies. And those systems have been built upon the foundation of racism and trauma, right? And negative language. And I'm here to disrupt that, disrupt the mindset that there are limited resources to care and nurture the roots of our bodies. I am here to disrupt the systems that try to disempower the faculties that we have in our bodies in the womb space, you know, to disrupt negative languaging, disrupt unwanted energies going into our womb space, unwanted energies going into our entire body. You know, and this sacred why came from a question. It came from a question during my journey with fibroids. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you've heard about my journey. And if you haven't, briefly, here it is. You know, this work really the catalyst of this work really birthed from that space of when I went through my own physical womb clearing and the journey from the removal of 10 massive fibroids benign tumors in my womb space. That whole process, that whole womb clearing really activated and brought forward some codes. It unleashed and unlocked some codes within me. And the experiences that I went through, really helped to catapult the work that I'm sharing with you now. And the why, the question, the real question that started this all is the question that, the statement that kept being said to me. When I asked people, I asked my doctors, I asked, all those that were at the beginning of my journey, that were a part of my healthcare team, and then I switched it up and found new people to be a part of my healthcare team. I kept asking the question, why does this happen? Why? What is the cause of this? What is the reasoning? Where do they come from? Is there anything I can do to prevent it? What is this? And the most common answer I got was, this is common in women. So you're not under, your health is not not threatened. This is very common. It's very common for Black women as well. And so, don't worry, this is very common. This just happens. So I kept hearing that. Black women, people of color, Indigenous women, it's very common, it's more prevalent for your cultural group. And that was it. I was left with that, right? And that bothered me because I wasn't given any context. I wasn't given any reasoning. I wasn't given any solutions. I wasn't given any, anything to what else to that statement? That's just the way, in their eyes, that's just the way it was. And I wasn't satisfied with that. So it started to nag on me a bit, Why couldn't nobody answer my question? Why does it always, is it more prevalent in women of color, of Black and Indigenous women? This question dove into my curiosity of discovering and re-educating myself of the womb space, and even calling it the womb space, right? I would sometimes reference this as my belly. It used to be my abs, the stomach, which, anatomically, our stomach is not by our belly button. The stomach is higher, right? Right? Amanda, is that you, love? Hello, darling. And I went on a journey of really investigating. This was the seeds. This question, this nagging question that I had was the seeds that started the Goddess Moves, that started this passion to share this message, because I knew I wasn't alone in this. I knew the stories that the experiences that I went through. I knew there was more, and I was starting to receive and hear other women's stories of how they went through their journeys with fibroids, with PCOS, with endometriosis, with fertility, with pregnancy, with just being a woman, being female, and all the things that come with it. Really, that's what started the foundation of this platform. I wanted to get to the root of these questions. And then in finding those roots, I thought, well, maybe there is something there that I could help, that I could offer support. I've always been in the space of helping, of being of service to the collective, whether it's, as a kid, I've always had this need to, this desire to serve and help people, but I did it in my own way. And it was through, my desire, through the arts and, using my artistry, using dance as a way to, invoke emotion, inspiration, conversation, happiness, joy, all the things that the arts bring. And then, developing further into wellness practices through health coaching, through energy healing and Reiki and crystals, and just learning about the body, how the body holds, each of our body parts holds an energetic code within, right? Your clitoris holds the gift of giving and receiving. Your fallopian tubes hold the masculine and feminine. Your ovaries hold the creative force. Your uterus is like the mother, right? The mother energy of all things. Your belly button is this connection portal to the mother, the mother lineage. Your heart is the space of unconditional love. It is an output of energy. Your back, depending on which quadrant, the lower back is a space of grounding, support, financial stability, right? Your body is a source of information. And this, I tuned into this more as I went through this, I went through this journey of answering my question. Why do these womb imbalances impact women so much, especially women of color? Hello, beauty, Amanda. Oh, I love this. I'm so grateful catching this message. Your journey brought you to, sorry, I can't read. Your journey brought you to your work, which changed my life. I'm almost ready to contribute to that cycle of healing and service. Thank you for allowing me a safe space to acquaint myself to my womb space. I'm tapped into the wisdom and I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh. Yes, Amanda. So grateful. Just, it warms my heart to read those words and to know that this space, this platform, held was such of service for you in your transformation and the gift that you gave to yourself to deepen into your healing. And I love that in this receptive, it's this beautiful receptive nature. As we heal, we want to pass that on. And just bring that out into the collective. And this is the beautiful thing about this work. This is a beautiful thing about, we want to pay it forward. Just as people have poured into me, to help me heal and do my work. And I have the courage to come out and share with you and to be able to know that this is also continuing to stoke this wheel of as we heal, you heal. As we heal, you heal. And it keeps going. And we are walking this beautiful pathway together. We are walking this beautiful pathway together. And so one of the things that I realized when I was looking for the answer to the question is, this idea that, our ancestors lived in a very different time. And sometimes they do intersect. Yes, rewriting, remembering, recreating. Love you too, Amanda. When I look back and to see, okay, how was it for our ancestors? How was it for, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and so forth and so on? It was a space of survival. It was a space of survival and a space of contraction because it was literally life or death. Right? And in some ways, this is starting to intersect with our world right now. This space of this paradigm of survival. And the conditioning of suppression in worth, in value of humanity, and the power that some would dominate on others, which instilled fear, which instilled violence, and all people wanted to do was just survive to live. And so when I think about the environments that our ancestors were surrounded by, it's no wonder that we have those codes within us to unpack that contraction, to unpack that trauma, to unpack those beliefs and patterns and systems that were devised to keep us down. And this, I believe, is part of the reason why womb imbalances are so common, because we're unpacking that stuff. Part of it is unpacking that residual energy from our ancestors. And that energy is stagnant energy. Our wombs are designed to flow and expand, to create life, to create our dream, to receive the wisdom, and trust in those beautiful pathways, those dreams, and embody our gifts, and to allow our expression to fully thrive. And if there isn't the safety to do that, well, then it comes into contraction like this. And so I believe this is one of the reasons when I ask the question, why this is so common, and there's also other factors that go into it. But as I was looking at the foundation, what is the root? Because we can fix whatever we want to fix, we can heal whatever we want to fix. If we don't get to the root, if we don't get to the root of the issue, we're just going to go into a cycle. We don't fully heal properly. It's like putting a Band-Aid on without going into these cells to properly heal. So this was one of the things I kept noticing through my training and research and conversations and with people and tuning in and deep diving and channeling the wisdom as best as best as I can. Changing our DNA? Not quite. But accessing the wisdom from our DNA, right? And, you know, this is getting into epigenetics, like how we feel, when we process and, tap into the higher energy, we can literally rewire, our genetics. We can rewire ourselves. We can rewire patterns in the brain, through different habits and visualizations and meditations. And, we literally have the power to do that. We can receive the information from our DNA. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that, the foundation really comes from, looking at our roots, looking at our ancestry, and looking at the conditions that, the feminine lineage and even the paternal lineage went through, to see where there are patterns that need to be rewritten, to be cleared. And I believe that is the foundation. That is the root to start to heal from that awareness in our womb space. And there's many things that we can do, within how we eat, our lifestyle, the energy that we surround ourselves with, the physical practices, being aware of what goes into the energy that we receive from our womb space, our yoni portals, things like yoni steaming, and these are, there are many, many tangible principles. But when we start to look at the roots, this is where I believe this is where we start, and this starts to answer the question of why. Why is this so prevalent in women? Yeah. So thank you. Yes, absolutely. Science term is neuroplasticity. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's so encouraging that science is catching up. It's very encouraging that science is catching up, and we can speak to this on a scientific term, but we can also speak to this on an energetic level. Yeah. Let's take a breath into that. Yeah. So this is the share I wanted to share with you. This is a space that I hold when I work one-on-one, when I work with group. I hold that space of sensitivity to get to the roots, so we can truly heal from the root up. So sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for being here live. Thank you for watching the replay. And yes, comment below your thoughts, your reflections, and I'll see you all tomorrow. 366, a year and a day challenge. Let's go.